What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Nwadei MMA. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. Go ahead, settle in, get your drinks out. This is going to be a little bit longer of a video because I'm going to be breaking down a one championship Muay Thai fight in Nong-O versus Ramazanov. Now, before I get into breaking down these fights, I want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about why I like doing these things. And I told you guys that I'm going to be doing more one championship breakdowns, recaps, and just more coverage on one championship because I believe that it's one of the best promotions out, if not maybe the best and the most exciting. The only one that I think maybe compares is the UFC, just because of the excitement and the appeal to my American mind. While the UFC does appeal more to the ruthlessness of fighting and the drama associated behind each of the fighters, one championship, I believe, highlights the better portion of the martial arts. It highlights a little bit more of the respect side and each individual martial art better than the UFC. I mean, the UFC is just the UFC, right? It's just MMA, mixed martial arts. One championship has kickboxing fights, it has Muay Thai, it has MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. So I think they do a very good job of allowing the audience to get their fix of whatever their favorite martial art might be. With that being said, a few things I think that we need to highlight in this fight before I start planning the fight and breaking it down. I think we need to highlight the contrasting styles that took play in this matchup. So we have Ramazanov, who is a taller, longer opponent than Nong-O. He's coming from kickboxing and has a style where he's constantly on the move, constantly switching stances and faking kicks in order to set up his hands, which in the taller person, generally you want to set up your kicks with your hands instead of the other way around. However, he found a unique style of setting up his hands with his kicks, which is a bit unorthodox, but because he's longer, he can get away with it, and because his kicks come at various angles that I'm going to highlight in this video, it actually does help to set up his punches. Now, obviously, he could have played this fight a little bit differently. He could have brought a little bit of a different style to this matchup because it didn't work out too well for him. However, on the other side with Nong-O did exactly what a shorter fighter is technically supposed to do. Generally, there is a stigma that longer fighters have the advantage, right? Reach advantage. We hear this all the time. Chael Sonnen is famous for saying that there's no such thing as a reach advantage, and what he means by this is exactly what I'm gonna highlight for you in this fight. This is example A of how to break down a longer fighter. This is example A of how to close the distance with taking minimal punishment, using both your kicks and your punches. Nong-O, in my opinion, put on a pretty perfect display of using your kicks to set up your hands as a shorter fighter. With that being said, it is all about how you're closing that gap though. Now, without further ado, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up to help support the content. And if you like watching these breakdowns, or maybe you're interested in finding out more about one championship, or maybe you already watch one championship and you're looking for someone to cover it, then you're more than welcome to subscribe. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to. And if you do choose to do so, go ahead and hit that bell icon as well to be notified when more videos similar to this one pop up in the future. But with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I am going to be playing this fight straight. I'm going to pause when I need to speak about whatever I want to talk about, just for time's sake. But I am going to talk about specific sequences that I think played a difference in how this fight ended up. So this is probably like my fourth time maybe watching this fight. And it's very interesting because this is my first time watching Ramazanov, second time watching Nong-O. My first time watching Nong-O was against Liam Harrison. But right away you can kind of see that Ramazanov is he's feigning a lot of push kicks right there. You can see that he's feigning a lot of push kicks, teeps, and he's doing this for a reason. He's not just bringing the knee up for no reason. He's actually doing this not only to switch stance and close the distance, but he's gauging reactions out of Nong-O, right? So he does this a couple times in the beginning and it almost seems like he's doing it for no reason, but instead he sets up the 1-2 and he does this off of both stances. I believe he's generally an orthodox fighter, but even though he does switch stances, he actually does this from both stances as well. So none of that really connected, but he's gauging Nong-O. He's trying to set things up, and Nong-O responds. So the reason I believe that he's not getting the reactions right now that he wants to, usually by bringing up that front leg, you're wanting either their hands to come down to try and parry that front kick, whether it's to the body or maybe to the head, or sometimes you're looking to see how they're reacting to your kicks, if they're just staying there or if they're moving out of range. Some of the times Nong-O was staying there and just keeping his high guard up, getting ready for the punches, and other times he would back up, moving out of range, enabling Ramazanov to throw something of a longer distance, something like a kick or whatnot. However, this is just kind of what he's gauging every time he lifts up that leg. You can see right now that Nong-O is he's starting to land the outside round kick that he's so famous for, but everything that Ramazanov is throwing is straight. You see the jabs, the 1-2s, every time he lifts his leg up he's feigning a teep. These are all straight things because he's trying to keep that distance from him and Nong-O. Nong-O is, when he closes the distance, he closes the gap fast. Look at this, look. Hold on, let's go ahead and go back. Even though there wasn't much damage done, this is actually something that Nong-O did later in the fight in order to have a fight ending sequence. But what he does right here is, because Ramazanov is so worried about the leg kicks, right? You see how he's lifting that leg up to check? Nong-O actually gets him on one leg, and that's what he's looking for. He wasn't ever planning on actually throwing the kick, but he feints it a couple of times, getting Ramazanov to react, getting him on one leg, and that gives him the opening to try and use his hands. Not to mention that Nong-O is he seems like he's a master at striking when people are circling out. Every time someone circles out, he just kind of lets them eat a leg kick on their way out. That was a good leg kick by Nong-O. Another one. See how he's consistently switching stances. He doesn't want Nong-O to have that, to find the range. He's trying to mix up the ranges for Nong-O so he doesn't have that leg just to keep targeting. Because Nong-O, he doesn't care, man. If you check it, he's fine with it. Sometimes he'll just throw right through the check and maybe even double up on it. So checking will get him to stop kicking for maybe a little bit, but it really doesn't discourage him that much. So Ramazanov is bringing up that front kick again. Now he actually does something kind of slick here that I wanna talk about. He has the trip right there, but so he's landed this outside leg kick a couple times, and he's landed that oblique kick as well to Nong-O's knee, and keeps feigning this front kick. But every time he picks up that back leg, there's something that you have to worry about, right? That's what Nong-O is. That's the responses he's getting. Well, that's what he's downloading. That there's something that you have to be worried about, right? And so what he does right here is Nong-O is pretty much predetermining the kick of like when it's gonna come. He's using just basic traditional Muay Thai, just trying to keep that leg bouncing, trying to check whatever. But because Ramazanov keeps lifting that leg up, he's almost baiting the check. And when he's doing that, he's timing it. And once it plants, you'll see that once it plants is when he throws and lands. That's the most optimal time to land as well. So bang, feint, switch, feint. He's baiting that leg to come up, and it's gonna come up, and once it plants is when he throws, even on the entry. Boom. That was nice. Nong-O again hits him on the exit. Hits him with a good right there. Yeah, so this round was pretty much, it was majority a feel around, just kind of trying to gauge each other's responses, see how they react to different parts of their styles. Nong-O's a big leg kicker, so he was trying to gauge the reactions off of that, see if he was going to check him or pull the kicks. Ramazanov is seeing how he's going to react to the front kicks. Catches him with a nice jab right there, actually off of one of the leg kicks. And I think that if he would have sat down on a little bit more of the leg kicks, easy to say, but if he would have sat down on a little bit more of the leg kicks, I think you would have seen him have a lot more success with the hands. If he sat down on his punches and decided to counter when Nong-O was throwing the kicks, had a little bit less respect for the kicks of Nong-O, he could have potentially went out of there with a torn quad, but he also could have had a lot more openings for a knockout. And that's kind of what you saw here. You saw that as Nong-O landed the kick, he catches him with a jab. Now, Nong-O wasn't out of it, but it did stun him. It did rock him just a little bit. Now, another thing I want to point out is, so we know these two fighter styles, right? Nong-O, he's wanting to come forward, close the distance against a much longer fighter, right? The longer fighter is, Ramazanov is taking the approach of switching stances, staying on the outside, using his legs, kicks, to set up his hands in the boxing exchanges. Now, the problem with this is that style takes a lot of energy, and you'll see it playing out over the fight. While he's using feints to open up cleaner strikes, he's using a lot more energy than Nong-O. Nong-O is standing here, right here, not telegraphing anything, not giving you anything. He's not feigning anything for the most part. He's kind of just steady right here, and you don't really know what to expect. Ramazanov, he's all over the place. He's feinting, switching stances. His style's more to get you to guess, get you to overcommit on something so that he can land a cleaner strike. And now, while that is good and it might get you a lot of knockouts and stuff like that, it's more of a pop shot approach to fighting, and definitely more of a kickboxing approach to Muay Thai. I just wanted to bring that up because the way Nong-O was able to walk him down towards the end had to do a lot with fatigue. Let's see how that happened though. All right, beginning of round 2. Again, switching stances. Nong-O's lifting that lead leg, keeping it light. As soon as he plants, that's when Ramazanov goes. Check high. That was nice. That was nice. Let's go back. Check high. Switches stance, throws the jab. Push kick. See, now he's actually letting that push kick go. Now he saw that Nong-O wasn't reacting that much. He was just kind of staying there, keeping a high guard. Therefore, it allows you to actually land your push kick. It tells you that the push kick is there. He was gauging it in the first round. He didn't throw it. You really didn't see him throw it once in that first round, right? He was gauging, seeing his reactions, and now he's gonna go ahead and throw it, keep throwing it to the body. And it'll also open up the other kicks. See, another problem with this style is that it will leave you off balance. While it does set up a lot of clean right hands as you feint that front kick, if you miss any of those right hands, you're off balance and you're squared up to your opponent, which can allow for knockouts, which allows for off balancing. And every time you have to regain your balance, that's more cardio that you're using. There he goes with another oblique and push kick. That time, Nong-O intercepts him with a kick. There he goes. He's going to his lead leg again, making him respect it, making him keep on using it. And what he wants, why he keeps doing that and going after the lead leg, even though those oblique kicks aren't super devastating, he wants him to keep lifting that leg, because a fighter on one leg is a vulnerable fighter, right? We saw this with Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. She ended up throwing that side kick, throwing those oblique leg kicks, and then eventually she was on one leg and Amanda Nunes just head kicked her. But what it does is it creates a stationary target. So what he's looking for is the fact that, okay, this guy's gonna be checking my kicks, but what it does is that it actually opens up those front kick feints more. So now when he feints, not only will Nong-O just be standing there because he's looking to counter back with punches, but he'll also be lifting that leg just in case Ramazanov is trying to kick, and that's what opens up the 1-2. Now here's a big part of this fight that I wanted to discuss, and this is a vet move. This is a vet move, and I don't know if many people caught this. A lot of people just saw this as a trip. So Ramazanov goes to the body, they get tangled up here, bang. Let's look at that again. It wasn't just a throw, guys. Gets tangled up, throws him, and look how he lands. Did y'all see that? Bang. He lands with his knee in his stomach. So we all know that body punches and body kicks they affect your gas tank, right? That's where you're breathing from. That's your diaphragm. Those are your lungs. Body punches will slow you down later in the fight. This is a vet move. It's not necessarily legal, right? You're not supposed to land and mount, right? You're not even supposed to really follow them to the ground. Muay Thai, you're really just supposed to trip them, let them go, catch, maybe throw a couple strikes or something. But he follows him to the ground and he lands with that knee and all his weight right into that stomach. Oof. Yeah, it's tough. Now he's gonna try and chop that leg down. See how he's still lifting that leg in anticipation. There's the front kick. Bang. Leg kick. So now the kicks are getting tricky for Nong-O. So now he needs to start closing the distance. He needs to start being first, which is why you saw him throw that leg kick. That was a hard leg kick. Uh-oh. There he goes. Now he's attacking those legs. Yeah, you can see that's fatigue. That's fatigue right there. That little sloppy exchange. He got leg kicked. Kicked his back leg. This is fatigue. Now, I don't think many people caught that, but I saw that when it happened, and I was like, man, that's a bad way to land. Unfortunate. Unfortunate or vet move. Y'all could choose. Let me know in the comments if y'all think that was intentional or not. So now he's just blasting these kicks. He sees that Ramazanov isn't checking anything anymore. He's trying to slow Ramazanov's movement, slowing his stance switching. And it's working. He's not moving as much. He's not throwing as many kicks. Because he has to worry about... He's more worried about defense. He's on the defensive because Nong-O's actually being first now. Look how tired he is. This isn't just because he's been throwing hard this whole time. Nong-O's been throwing hard as well. This has more to do about his style, the fact that he's constantly moving backwards. Yeah, for those of you who haven't competed or who haven't done martial arts before, man, it's an exhausting style to be going backwards the whole time. You see it again. You see that knee in the belly again. Ugh. He got him with that push kick. That was clean. And the reason he landed that push kick is because Nong-O wasn't respecting it. Most of the time, that knee was coming up. It was coming up as a feint. The one time it didn't, he lands a beautiful push kick that scores big. The first round I gave to Ramazanov. The second round I gave to Nong-O, just because at the end he started landing a lot of the bigger strikes. Early on, it was a little bit more Ramazanov, but here's the third round. Right away, he's lifting that leg up in anticipation of that back leg. Ramazanov throws it anyways. Nong-O's really confident in his hands, man, and he doesn't even lead with the jab either. But the way Nong-O closes distance is actually perfect for shorter guys, and the way he's getting into distances, he's almost predetermining that the guy's gonna throw a jab. He's getting his head off the center line, and before he throws that cross, or really simultaneously. And he's not just looking for the head when he throws that cross, he's also looking for the body. So what he'll do is he'll throw the leg kick, right? He's hurting him, he's landing him, and then he'll hip feint, and then he'll come in with the two. Maybe even using the lead hand as just like a little flicker jab, or if not, maybe even swiping his hands out of the way in order to land a strike. That was a good knee by Ramazanov. But you see how he's constantly having to back up, constantly having to switch stances. It gets exhausting. Lands a good teep there. Nice body kick from Nong-O. Man, it's so beautiful to watch Nong-O with this Muay Thai. That changed the fight. That's another thing that changed the fight. You can see progressively he's fatiguing. Switches stance, throws a nice jab. He's trying to clinch up. Bang, that elbow to the temple. Ooh. Ooh, right off the break. Yeah, fatigue's getting to him. He doesn't have the same instincts that he did round one. Leg kick hits him. Now he's starting to sit down more. He's trying to put more power behind the shots. He kind of wants this one done a little bit sooner. Ooh. And that's how Nong-O is entering with that cross. Leg kick. Now he's gonna hop into range. You see that? He's hopping into range before he throws that flicker jab into the cross. Then he'll go back to the leg kick. Cross. Leg kick. Cross. It's brilliant. Ooh, cross. Jab, cross. Leg kick. Hopping into range. And he's almost hopping with a check. He's cross to the body. Yeah, that's a fight ending sequence right there. Ooh. Ooh, digging to the body. Back to the leg. And the reason he's such a master at attacking people on the exits is, look at this. Look at how it's not so much that he's throwing the leg kick hard. It's about how he's hitting them. This guy's a longer fighter, right? Skinnier legs. But when you're standing up tall, you're at risk for devastating leg kicks like this. You're leaning away more, trying to get your head out of the way. Bang. God. On a planted leg like that. Oof. Those leg kicks are tough. If he were to have a lower stance similar to how Nong-O has, he'd be able to eat a little bit more on those leg kicks. But the fact that he's just walking him down, letting him exit and run into the leg kicks, oh man, that's brutal. Ooh. Bang, bang. Yeah. Bang. Oof. Right on the exit. Cross hook to the body to a leg kick. Yeah, and here he's done. Bang. Ooh. See how every time he's throwing that cross, he's really not committing on the jab. He's not committing on the left hand at all. He's committing on that cross every time. You can see that he's fatigued. His body's hurt. I'm telling you, that knee in the second round, when they fell, those falls, they play a difference. Like when you get up from one of those falls, you notice how fatigued you really are. When you get a knee in your gut on the landing, then it's even you realize it even more. But let's go back a little bit because I want y'all to see that entry one more time. So it was a 1-2 leg kick. The guy's calling him on, but he doesn't realize that he just walked onto another cross. Let's watch that again. 1-2 uppercut leg kick, calls him on, and as he goes to feint this front kick that he's been doing the whole fight, right? Nong-O realizes it. He doesn't respect it. He's willing to accept the push kick and instead trades across for that feint. Bang. Leg kick. Now he has no choice but to cover up. He has his distance all messed up. His range is all discombobulated. You'll see what I mean. You see how he tries to switch stance out of this to try and gauge his distance. He's trying to see which stance to attack from, which leg to feint. He ends up going with the right leg, but he just doesn't have enough. He's too tired to properly get his distance and throw respectable strikes. And that's why Nong-O, he senses that blood in the water and he starts breaking him down. Starts walking him down. Yeah. Well, anyways, so that's my breakdown. The things that I really took away from that fight is the aggression of Nong-O, the patience that he had to just sit back and download what Ramazanov was doing. The way that he dealt with that whole front kick feint, because that's a hard thing to deal with. The way he dealt with it was actually masterful. The fact that he noticed that Ramazanov was tired and he stopped respecting that front kick as much, and it caused him to get front kicked and knocked down one time in the fight, but eventually that front kick became weaker and weaker, and it got lazier and lazier. And then eventually he got so tired, he was on the back foot so much that he couldn't even pick it up to actually throw a strike with it anymore. Instead, he was just using it to feint, and Nong-O, he saw that, stopped respecting it, and was just coming forward with the hands over and over and over again. But yeah, that's just steps 101, how to break down a longer fighter, especially a longer fighter who's trying to set up his hands with his legs. Generally, you don't really want to do that. Generally, as a longer fighter, you want to box your way out of range so that you could set up your legs like that, get your opponent backing up. But there's multiple ways to fight. There's not one way to fight, and Nong-O got the better of him this time. But guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate y'all stopping by my video today. I appreciate everyone who sharing their thoughts, commenting, and liking this video, as well as everyone who has subscribed to my channel. If you guys are looking forward to more content like this one or similar to this one, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know, and I will be happy to do more content like this. But guys, with that being said, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'm out. Peace.